Yoski Woski. She pushing man Chan here. Mind of a Maniac, cell 44. And I try to be a man of my word. And I said a while ago I was going to make a video about some weight loss tips and some supplements. So here we are. On this beautiful rainy night. So yeah, it's very therapeutic, by the way. On the patio, very therapeutic. But yeah, we're in basically the end of February now, and whoever's been on their fitness journey, those who've been consistent and disciplined, they're still on it, and those who haven't obviously fell off the bus. But sometimes, in some situations, you can start all over right now, and if you want to, you can still get back on that horse, okay? But a lot of people still need some help on what to do or exactly how to lose weight. So I'm gonna go through a couple steps and tips and what types of supplements you should be taking too on a daily basis to help this out. So bear with me. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible because we live in such a short attention span generation now. So all right, numero uno. It's all about calories in versus calories out. Okay, it doesn't matter what type of workout you're doing, what type of diet. Fun fact, I hate the word diet, okay? It sounds so constricted, but it doesn't matter what type of meal plan that you're on. It doesn't matter what you do. If you're not expending more than you're intaking, you're not going to lose weight. I don't care who you are, what you do. You have to burn more than what you're intaking. That's numero uno. Calories in versus calories out is number one in all categories, okay? So, you're going to have to learn how to track or basically watch your intaking. It's something that you're going to have to do to get to where you want to be at, to be honest with you. Like, you're going to have to really get meticulous about this. Like, this is a process, okay? So, number two, there's actually different levels of weight loss. There's, of course, fat loss, which is what everybody's trying to do. There's water loss, there's bone loss, and there's muscle loss. All of those equal weight loss. Weight is just poundage that you're losing, okay? What most people need to focus on is body fat percentage. You need to decrease what your body fat percentage is, okay? Everybody is so fixated on a number that they're trying to hit that they go through extreme measures that they actually make it harder or make it worse on themselves. Like, honestly, like, for real. And it's like, and then some people end up losing weight. They might lose a little body fat, but they also might lose a little muscle. And then in the end, they end up gaining more weight. And there's a reason because of that. Because in order to, which kind of ties into the third part, which it's kind of it segues into it. Excuse me. I'm country, I got a list. And my mind be racing too fast, my mouth can't keep up. But, like, in order to lose body fat, you have to gain muscle mass. That's how this works. So, which, like I said, ties into number three, is your metabolism. So, which most people want to lose body fat, you're going to have to go pick something heavy up. That's how this works. To increase your metabolism, which is how you burn fat, you have to have muscle mass, okay? Men and women, everybody. That's how the human body works. So a lot of females say, I don't want to pick no heavy ass weight up. That's how the body operates. Your body's not going to get bulky, because in order to become bulky, you have to have the hormone testosterone. Okay, that's why men get bulkier whenever we pick up heavy shit, because we produce testosterone. Now, women do too, but at a much lower rate, which is why y'all don't get bulky. Y'all get more dense. Your muscles get harder. They don't expand, okay? Only certain women who become like freaks, like freak genetics, like without taking steroids, they're just certain percentage of people, just like men, that are just the freaks above the freaks, okay? But the average person, no. You're going to have to pick something heavy up, and you're not going to become bulky, okay? That goes for majority of women. And that ties in, like, since women need to lift heavier weights actually more than men, in my opinion, or they need to weight lift more than men, because it deals with bone loss, which is another level of weight loss. Because women, whenever you all get older, your estrogen naturally breaks down your bones, which is why when older women they get older, they fall, they become real frail because your like the density of your bones have literally deteriorated. So lifting weights actually increases your bone structure, or it makes it more dense, because it's like living in a house. If your frame is solid, your house is going to stand solid. If your frame is weak, your house will not stand. That's how the body works. It's just like a house. If your frame is strong, it's going to hold up. It's going to do its job. So if you start squatting 200-300 pounds consistently, your body has to adapt to that, which means your bones have to harden. And that can help you lose weight too, because then your muscles can actually heal properly and produce like the way they're supposed to, which increases muscle growth, which increases increases fat burning, which is what everybody's looking for. So everything is connected. Everything is tied to everything. So I feel like that guy what's his name, the meme where that dude is sitting there like looking all crazy, pointing a bunch of like formulas and shit. Like, that's basically how trainers are for real. But in the end, it's about the end result, and the end result is what the customer's looking for. So that's the type of shit that we go through in our heads, trying to figure out exactly what is right for you. So it's a long process of like figuring out what the right thing is for somebody. So, but yeah, like metabolism, like you're just gonna have to get out of your comfort zone, honestly, for real. Like, lifting weights is the fountain of youth. If you notice, every older person who stayed lifting weights and stayed doing something productive whenever they got older, they ended up living a longer life. You look at everybody that's older, you don't see any fat older people. Like, honestly, like the people who are like later on in life, like 70s and 80s, you don't see too many fat people. I know some people that are like, they're not no like bodybuilders, but they stay consistent, like lifting weights, just doing something. They do something and they look amazing. They don't even look like they're 70. Like, for real. That is the fountain of youth. Weights and water, which ties into number 4. Rest, water, which, fun fact, Evian is my favorite kind of water. I don't know why, it just tastes amazing in my opinion. But rest, water, and stress, which is, majority of us don't drink enough water. A lot of us don't get enough stress. That's a given. I mean, none of us get enough rest. And a lot of us are stressed. And 3 things can make you so much healthier if you just watch them, like, for real. Like, if you drink water the way you're supposed to, you will feel so much better. And if you sleep the way you're supposed to, you will not just sleep. There's a difference between sleeping and resting. Anybody can sleep, but are you getting quality rest? Like, for real. Like, that rest goes a long way. That can actually save your life. You can actually work yourself to death. It is possible. Trust me. Trust me. But rest, water, and stress. Like, try to get at least 3 liters of water. Some people's like, they say, like, get a gallon of water. Start with 3 liters first. Start with 3 liters of water first and then go from there. If you can get 3 liters, you can go just a little bit past that. You'll see, like, how much your body can, like, change, like, overall, like, even mentally. Like, your brain is like 90% water. My math might be off or some shit like that, because I'm a Neanderthal, I'm a caveman, but, like, that's the majority of your brain. Like, that's why whenever you have a hangover, you are such in a fog, because your brain is dehydrated. So, replenish, replenish, replenish. And number 5, a lot of people really don't think about this though, but in my opinion, like, find like-minded people. Like, everybody, like, that's around you doesn't have to do exactly like the same shit that you do, but find people that's kind of like-minded like you, because whenever you start getting like actually like healthy and your mind starts changing, you start noticing different characteristics. And I'm not saying like just push people away and shit. I'm just saying, like, start to find people who like find similar interests in the same type of health shit that you do. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, for number one, you can feed information off each other and y'all can learn a lot of shit. Because if you go to the gym or find people who work out like with some people, they share information all the time. Like, for real, like we'll learn some shit like from a bodybuilder, from a power lifter, from an athlete, from an older person, from a yoga person. Like, find like people that's like minded, like in the same realm that you're in. Because whatever your environment is what you become. If you're surrounded with a bunch of like things that's going around, like a bunch of health stuff, and people actually trying to get like mental stuff get done and physical stuff get done and work on themselves spiritually and stuff, like you're a product of your environment. If that's what you surround yourself with, that you have no choice but to become that. So find like-minded people or people that's doing something similar that you're doing. And number 6, which is probably the most important one out of all this stuff, is patience. This is a marathon, and you got to be realistic. This is not an overnight process. I didn't wake up like this. I'm not saying like I'm just Arnold Schwarzenegger or nothing like that, but I did not wake up like this. This took years to get to here. Whole lot of ups and downs and plateaus and injuries, which I'm kind of going through some shit right now, which is why I'm doing all cardio this week. I ain't touched not one weight. I did some abs today with a lot of rowing, because like where I just go too hard. My problem is not the gas pedal. My problem is the brake. I have no brakes. I'm all fucking go, and that's my downfall. My best attribute is also my downfall, which no story another day. But patience. Like, the realistic part about this is if you're only working out like 2 days a week and say like you're trying to lose like, I don't know, 70, 80 pounds, that's not going to happen in 6 months. It's not. Because like I said, it's about calories in versus calories out. So if you work out more times a week, of course, that's going to add to your calorie expenditure. 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. If you take away 500 calories, let's say like you're on a 2,000 calorie, like that's your daily intake, it's 2,000 calories. If you take away 500 calories a day, that's it, just 500 calories a day, that's 3,500 calories throughout the week. Because that's how you have to look at it. You have to look at it from a week span. That's 1 pound of fat just taking away 500 calories right there. Just with that. Now imagine if you start weightlifting and you start increasing your metabolism on top of that. So, patience is probably the most important thing. And you're going to have to be patient with yourself, be patient with the trainer and the program, the meal plan, the whole process. Because if you really want to be realistic about the situation, depending on how much weight you want to lose, let's say like you're an obese person and you need to lose like 60, 70, 80 pounds. I would not look at it from a 6 months like go plan. I would try to lose 10 to 20 pounds at first and go from there, and then look at it from a year span. Okay, that way it's more easier and you give yourself more room to work with, especially if you're not used to working out and this is all new. If you've been a former athlete or you're used to working out, you just fell off the bus and need to get back into it, that's a different story. You know what I'm saying? That you've already got that foundation. But like if you're starting new, you're going to have to be patient. Okay? And buckle up, because it's a ride. It's going to affect you not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. You're going to go through it. Like Nipsey said, been through every emotion. Every fucking emotion. Like, but at the end, it's going to be all worth it because you got your health. Your health is numero uno. Like, for real. That's the only thing that we got control over. Once you leave this house, walk outside into the world, you're only in control so much. But your health, that's what you got. That's the only thing that you have sole control over. Unless it's something like an uncontrollable disease or some shit like that. So, yeah, that's just a couple tips on weight loss. But some supplements that everybody needs to start taking. Whew. I'm going to try to keep it simple, like I said. But First things first, magnesium, which is very good for your heart and for your bones and your immune system, okay? Very, very good. Everybody needs to start taking this, especially if you have trouble sleeping. It's a natural muscle relaxer, okay? I try to take like 1 or 2 of these every night because I used to every fucking night. Then after I quit doing that shit, I was taking fucking melatonin, which then I stopped taking that shit and I do some other shit. But magnesium, yes, load up on that. Vitamin C, once again, good for your immune system, okay? Which is in a lot of fruits and shit too. But with all these flu seasons and all this stomach virus going around, and plus, especially if you go to the gym, because gyms are disgusting. They really, really are. I keep mine clean as much as I can, but these commercial gyms are fucking filthy, okay? Your immune system needs to be A1, not just for that, but just everyday life. Because if you're sick, your body cannot function properly, okay? Fish oil. Keep the joints and the ligaments lubed and oiled up, okay? Just like the Tin Man when he was squeaking the shit, this is good for your joints and good for your ticker. Good for your heart and good for your immune system too. A lot of your healthiest people on the planet, they load up on omega-3s, okay? And they got the ones that don't taste like fish anymore. So you don't have to worry about burping and doing all that shit anymore. So basically with new technology, yeah, fish oil. Just one more supplement, wait right there. Sorry. Vitamin D. Everybody needs vitamin D. This is good for your bones and your immune system and your heart and everything, okay? Everybody needs, especially black people, where we're so vitamin D deficient or sufficient from not being out in the sun too much, okay? Majority of black people need vitamin D. Everybody and women. Like I said, this is all about your bone structure and your immune system, okay? Now, 2 of my favorite supplements ever, not just whey protein, but podium protein, which is, if you know anything about me, I'm a Matt Frazier fucking stan. Anything with Matt Frazier, I am with. This protein right here is probably my favorite protein that I've ever had. It's 50 grams of 2 scoops. And the thing about protein, it's just like every other supplement or everything else in the world. You get what you pay for, okay? I'm going to keep it funky with you. This is top shelf shit. It really, really is. Like 45 to 50 bucks is what you're paying for this. However, the reason why you're paying that much for it is because it's top shelf shit, which means you're getting the full productivity from it. Like, a lot of people don't understand, a lot of these proteins have a bunch of fillers in them. So they might say, like, they're like, you might go to Walmart or some grocery store and it might say, like, protein, 2 scoops, 60 grams of protein. It's only like 20 bucks for the whole tube. There's a reason why it's $20. Because it's cheap, because there's a lot of bullshit in it. So instead of 60 grams, it's more like 25, if you're lucky, 30. It's a lot of bullshit in there, a lot of fillers. This 2 scoops of 50, more like 46, 47 grams. Because it's pure and it's clean. That's why it's expensive. Okay, protein, muscle growth, metabolism, fat burn. Tied with this, creatine. Now, if you're my age or around my age group or a little bit older, a little bit younger, then you know whenever creatine first blew up in the late 90s and the early 2000s, and everybody was skeptical about this shit because technically we knew about it, but we didn't know about it. Everything we were pretty much taught back then was wrong about creatine. This right here is a miracle drug. Over the counter. Cheap. And a lot of people don't realize creatine's in red meat. If you eat steak, if you eat pork, if you eat hamburger, if you eat any type of red meat, you're eating creatine. So anybody says they don't like eating creatine, if you eat meat, you're eating it on an everyday basis. Okay, so I think it's like, 3 or 4 pounds of red meat or hamburger is like 5 grams of creatine or some shit like that. You have to eat like a whole bunch of red meat to get it, but it's in there. That's where it naturally comes from, and we naturally produce it. Okay? Creatine, the thing about this is you don't have to preload it. You can just start taking it, your body automatically absorbs it. The best time to take it is right after a workout with a carb. Okay, a lot of people say not with a protein, take it with a carb, because whenever you're done working out, your body's in shock and your blood sugars are all through the roof. They're everywhere. Okay, whenever your body's in that mode and it's trying to recover, the first thing it's trying to grab is sugar. It's not trying to grab protein. It's trying to grab sugar, some type of carb. That's why a lot of people eat candy right after the workout, because it balances everything out. Because once your body absorbs that sugar, now it can properly absorb the protein. So if you take the creatine right after a workout with the carb while your body's feeding like crazy, it goes straight into your bloodstream, straight into your muscles. Then the protein is right behind it, and next thing you know, gains, bitch. I'm corny. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. But this right here is a miracle drug. Now, I will say the reason why a lot of people are scared of it is because they say, oh, I don't want to catch cramps, it's going to dehydrate me. Myth. Urban myth. It actually is bullshit, okay? As I said, we were taught wrong. If you take creatine and you start cramping, that means you was already dehydrated from the jump. Because when you take creatine, it pulls water into the muscles. So if you're pulling water into something, is that dehydrated or is it rehydrated? So creatine actually hydrates your muscles. It doesn't dehydrate it. So if you start cramping, that means you're already dehydrated from the jump, boo-boo. Get your water levels up, okay? But anybody and everybody needs these two products, protein and creatine. For real, I promise you. I'm out of both of them, ironically. I need to stock back up on them. Fun fact, if anybody wants to know what to get me for Christmas or birthday, you just sing this shit, okay? So, don't say I didn't tell you. If you're an athlete, though, just two things I do recommend you taking. It's not, you don't have to if you're regular Joe Schmo, okay? But if you're in the athletic world, I recommend beta-alanine, and something I just started taking is nootropics, okay? These two things are actually found in pre-workouts, but these are just separates because they're actually like the full-blown dosage of them. So whenever you take a pre-workout, you start itching, that's why. But the reason why I recommend beta-alanine if you're an athlete is because it draws more oxygen to your muscles. So you can basically produce longer. The more oxygen to your muscles, the more you can produce. Nootropics is what helps you focus. So whenever you see somebody's lasered in or laser focused or they're working out or in a game or some shit, that's the nootropics kicking in. I just started taking this recently. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to keep it all the way funky. It tastes like pig shit. Okay? It tastes like pure hog shit after it just ate a dead body. I'm telling you. It's terrible. That's why I mix it with other shit. I'm pretty sure there's some other different brands that taste better, but this brand, it helps me. Now, don't get it fucked up. I'll be so in the zone to where I'll be doing too much. Now, I'm not saying y'all don't do that. That's just who I am because it enhances my focus. I'm already a focused individual, but that right there enhances it. So if you have troubles focusing, whether you're studying too, this will help you study. This will help you focus on anything. Okay? I'm not saying it's not no Adderall, no shit like that. This is over-the-counter, natural shit, okay? But I would find a different brand than this because it tastes like shit. But, yeah. Oh, one more thing. Caffeine. Like, caffeine, some people can handle caffeine, some people can't. You're just going to have to do a little trial and error to figure out what your dosage should be. Now, a lot of these new energy drinks, like the new Ghost, the Celsius, the Alani News, they're like 200 milligrams in one can. I'm telling you right now, 200 milligrams of two of these pills, you're going to be itching. That means your blood is going and you ready to go. Okay? And I'm not going to lie to you, some days I'll be overloading on the caffeine and I need to chill. But that's my problem. I'm an extremist. I'm working on it. I'm not perfect, but that's who I am. I just embrace it. But yeah, and by the way, this Apple Watch is invest in one. It's gonna keep track of everything, okay? Your sleep, your breathing, your calories, everything. Like it keeps track of everything. This is not just something cool. This is an investment. I actually use this for a bunch of shit, not just to look cool. Like I would actually, like everybody, if you got an iPhone, get an Apple Watch. Especially if you're in the health, if you're trying to get healthy, it's gonna help keep track of everything. I swear to God, it's gonna let you know your heart rate's done went down, which is what you need to do. You need to get your heart rate down, especially when you're sleeping. That's when you're recovering. It's gonna track your breathing. It's gonna track your steps. It does wonders. I love it. I love it. I love it. 8-8. That's crazy. That's a number. But yeah, it's little tips, little ins and outs to try to keep it basic as possible as I can without going too deep, because it's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. It's a rabbit hole. But if anybody's got any kind of questions, comments, or anything, feel free to shoot me. Like, subscribe, comment. Should push me a chair here. I'm gonna go get me some sleep while it's raining like this, man, because I need to recover. I'm awful tired now. All right, boy.